Hello my students, how are you? I'm Ms. Jakao. I will with you for science lessons. I hope you will be okay. See you soon inshallah in Clever School. Now please open your science book, Unit 5, Chapter 2, page 214 light. In this chapter you will learn some properties of matter and you will learn some vocabularies such as reflection, refraction, absorption, opaque, translucent, and transparent. Please pay attention and listen to me carefully. Let's start with light energy. Light energy. Light, before that, light. What is light? Light is a kind of energy or is a form of energy. Students, you know that energy is the ability to cause a thing to change. The energy in a fire changes a sheet of paper into ashes. The heat from a fire can change your hands from cold to warm. Also, bacteria use energy to change a dead log into soil for plants. Students, remember and memorize at this point. It's very important. Light is a kind of energy, is a form of energy. Light is a kind of energy. Light energy can make many changes. Let's know what are changes that light energy can cause. Without light energy you could not see anything. In dark place without light you could not see any objects. Light energy gives things colors. With the light energy you can see colors and distinguish between them. The sun shines on the soil. Students, you know that the sun provides energy to earth and help plants to grow. Plants can't live in complete darkness. You know that students, all plants autotrophs. That means plants can make their own food. Why? Because plants have chloroplasts. Inside the chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, the green color pigment that absorb the light energy. It help plant to make their own food by the process that's called photosynthesis, that you learned in first season, that all plants need water, light, air, especially carbon dioxide, and soil in order to live. Nowadays, doctors use the light energy of lasers to perform some operations. How? Some patients suffered from kidney stones or bladder stones. Some doctors use light energy of lasers to breaking down stones. Some doctors use use light energy lasers to whiten teeth, and for some doctors use light energy of lasers to performing some cosmetic operations. Light energy has many advantages. Light energy can make cars move. How? Some machines use energy from light to generate electricity. These cars that has a machine that generate electricity from light energy. Also in space satellites and the space station use solar cells to change light energy into electricity. If all satellites depended on battery instead, the added weight would make them too expensive to launch into orbit. It's better to use solar cells instead of generate electricity. Look, this question, check understanding. What are three changes light energy can cause? Light energy can cause plants grow. Light energy gives things colors. light energy make cars move? These are answers for this question. Now let's go to look this car that's use solar cells and light energy to generate electricity. Light energy from the sun change or generate to electricity. Okay, let's go to the next page. Shadows. When you put your hand in front of a lamp, you make a shadow on the wall. The shadows move and change shape as you move your hand. Shadows move and change because of the way light travels. Light travels in straight line. It's a very important point. Please memorize this point. Light travels in straight lines. When you put your hand in front of a lamp, some of the straight lines of light hit your hand. The shadow on the wall shows where the light is blocked by your hand. When you move your hand, the shadow moves because your hand blocks different lines of light. For more information, let's go to page 212. Investigate how light travels. How light travels. Have you ever noticed how the shadow of a tree changes during the day? It is long in the morning, short at noon, and long again in the late afternoon. These changes happen because the tree blocks the light and the position of the sun in the sky changes. In this investigation, you will change the position of index cards and use a light bulb to observe how light travels. What are materials that need for this investigation? 3 index cards, small short lamp without a lampshade, clay and ruler. Make a large X on each card to draw each line. Lay the ruler from one corner of the card to the opposite corner. Look picture 8. On each card, make a hole at the place where the line of the X cross. Use the pencil to make the holes. 3. Use the clay to make a stand for each card. Make sure the holes in the cards are at the same height. Stack the cards on the top of each other. Line up the edges. Then hold them tightly together and use a pencil to make sure the holes are the same size at the same height. Look, this is cards, this is light bulb. Okay, this is X shape, and this hole light travel through this holes. Okay, turn on the light, look through the holes in the cards. Move the cards around on the table until you can see the light bulb through all 3 cards at once. You may have to pull down the blind or dim the room lights to help you see the light bulb. Draw a picture showing where the light is and where the cards are. 5. Move the cards around to new places on the table. Each time you move the cards, draw a picture showing where the cards are. Do not move the height. Observe the light through the holes each time. In the investigation, you could see the light bulb only when the holes in 3 cards were in a straight line. When one of the holes wasn't in line, with the other, it blocked the line of light. How did this show that light travel in a straight line? When you stand in the sun, you block some of the lines of sunlight. As the sun moves in the sky, you block different lines of light. When the sun is low in the sky in the morning and in the afternoon, your shadow is long because of the sun's position in the sky. When the sun is high overhead, your shadow is short. During the afternoon and in the morning, your shadow is longer than you. But in 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, your shadow is shorter than you. Long ago, people figured out that they could predict the pattern of changing shadows during a day. They used the pattern to tell time. A device used to do so is called a sundial. A sundial. Look, this is the sundial. Is a device. The device that people long ago used to tell time. A sundial. This is a triangular pointer that's called a gnomon. In Kurdish, a sundial called kajmeri hatawi. Kajmeri hatawi. A device used to do so is called a sundial. It is made up of a triangular pointer called a gnomon. Please, this G is silent. Don't read. The triangular pointer on a sundial called gnomon, and a circular dial marking the hours of the day. As the sun moves across the sky, the shadow of the gnomon moves from left to right and points to the hours of the day. Look, here's a question. Check understanding. How does light travel? How does light travel? Light travel in a straight line. Please write down here, light travel in straight lines. Okay, my students, good luck for you, and I hope you'll understand this lesson. It's time to video. Let's look a video about shadows.
Shadow.
What is this, Mom?
It is your shadow.
What is shadow?
Shadow is dark spot formed by an object when it blocks the path of light. Let us explain with the help of an activity. Take a torch and a ball. Hang the ball with thread and light the torch in front of the ball. Observe on the wall. You will observe that a dark patch of ball formed on the opposite side of the light. This dark patch is called shadow. Now move the ball closer to the source of light and observe. You will observe that the same ball forms a bigger shadow. Now move the ball further away from source of light and observe. You will observe that the same ball forms a smaller shadow. Thus, we conclude that 1. A shadow is made when an object blocks light. 2. Opaque objects make dark shadows. Translucent objects make faint shadows. 3. If an object is moved closer to the light source, the shadow gets bigger. 4. If an object is moved further away from the light source, the shadow gets smaller. Transparent objects do not form shadow. Come with me. I will show your shadow in the sun. Observe your shadow on bright sunny day at different times. In morning and evening, your shadow will be long as the sun is very low, but in the midday your shadow will be the shortest as the sun is high and right above your head.
Thanks, Mom. I have learnt about the shadow and its characteristics.
In the next lesson, we will study two another properties of light, reflection and refraction. Goodbye and see you